So I want to talk about something that I don't usually broadcast unless it's to people that I know super well or people that I know won't judge me, I guess is the best way to put it. But I have anxiety, and I'm just going to put it out there plain and simple. I have anxiety. And I want to preface that by saying I don't want this video to be a sob story or anything. I just felt that anxiety is such a huge part of me, and this channel is also a huge part of me, I guess. It's a huge part of my life, and I just felt that there shouldn't be a disconnect between the actual me and the me that people see on the internet. So that's why I'm here today. And I'm not gonna go through all the gritty details of how I figured out that I have anxiety, but I still want to share my story because it's so important to me. Basically, I found out that I have anxiety. I have diagnosable anxiety at the beginning of my senior year, and that made things a lot more difficult than they needed to be. I mean, no one has a perfect senior year. No one has a perfect, high school experience, but the volume of the anxiety that I felt and the fact that I didn't know why I was feeling this way made my senior year very difficult. People always say that your senior year is supposed to be the best year of your high school career, but honestly, it felt like the worst. And I don't mean to be a pessimist about that. I don't mean to look at the glass half empty. I came out with some wonderful experiences from my senior year, and I got closer to a bunch of people, and I was so happy to graduate, but everything in between was just so difficult because my anxiety was, it was overtaking me. And again, I didn't know what I was experiencing. I couldn't put a name to the feelings that I was having. It was just overwhelming and scary. And my anxiety had a bigger impact on my life than just high school. If it was just high school, I think I could have dealt with it. I think I, could have persevered and thought, hey, once school's over, I'm going to feel a lot better. But that wasn't the case. Most noticeably, anxiety has kept me from doing a lot of things. And that sounds very vague, but it incapacitates me, or it used to incapacitate me, to the point where I was so unhappy, and everything that used to make me happy couldn't make me happy. I had the most difficult time socializing. I didn't get any enjoyment out of playing music or listening to music, and music is my life. It's cathartic to me, and the fact that it didn't make a difference was so disappointing, and it just felt wrong. It all felt wrong. And anxiety also kept me from driving. I mean, at the beginning, I just put off driving because it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't really do after-school clubs. I didn't, love shopping. I didn't love going out. And, that was probably one of the first warning signs that, hey, something's wrong, because most 16-year-olds want to go get their permit and do their driving school like the day that they turn 16, but I wasn't like that. And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off to the point where it became the most difficult thing that I had to do. Even just thinking about it made me upset. It made me worry. I couldn't go out and even just practice driving around a parking lot without feeling so deeply distressed is the only way that I can put it. And that is not good. That feeling is not good, and it is not a feeling that anyone should have to endure. It's just, mental illness should not keep you back from doing the things that you want to do in life. It shouldn't. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. But if it keeps you from doing the big things, if it keeps you from going after that big dream or that big aspiration that you have, or if it just keeps you from being happy, then that's not right. If you are mentally ill, or you believe you're mentally ill, if you just have the slightest bit of anxiety, the slightest bit of depression, if you just aren't happy and comfortable with yourself, then all I can do is tell you to seek help, because that is what has gotten me so far in life, is looking for help and getting the help that I didn't even know I needed. I went from just dreaming about having a YouTube channel to now having a YouTube channel. I went from just imagining myself putting on makeup to finally putting on makeup, because it made me all so anxious. And most importantly, I went from having a panic attack while driving, not even on a open road, to now having my license, and today going out for the first time driving by myself with minimal anxiety. And I can tell you that was an incredible, incredible experience. So basically, that's as far as my story extends. Of course, I am still working towards being the best me that I possibly can. I'm still working on conquering my anxiety in other situations, in social situations, or in the workplace, or going to college, which is another thing entirely, but we're not going to talk about that right now. And it'll take some time and it'll take some patience, but just looking back and seeing how far I came from not wanting to drive at all to, going out driving today and getting my Dunkin' Donuts, finally, it encourages me and inspires me to no end. It's just a great feeling. So all I can suggest to everyone watching, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you have any mental illness, is to seek help, because your feelings and your problems, your emotions are valid. Whether, you're a white, middle-class female like me, that doesn't mean that you're not worthy of getting help for what's going on in your brain. Anxiety and depression and every other mental illness, they don't pick and choose who's going to end up suffering from them. They don't purposely pick on the rich or purposely pick on the poor or any specific race or gender. Mental illness is just its own being. It affects so many people from all walks of life. And that's why I recommend getting the help that you need, even just reaching out to someone about it, whether it be a friend, a family member, a teacher, professor, a boss, a counselor even, a therapist. It will make a world of difference. It may take time, it may take effort, it may take struggle, but finding the right person to talk to is so important, rather than keeping everything bottled up and struggling through things by yourself. Mental illness is not any less valid than a physical illness. You wouldn't go run a mile on a broken leg, so why would you force yourself to go through life when you're suffering internally. There is help, there is counseling, there is medication, there is therapies out there that will help you, and trust me, they will. You are not a hopeless case. You have nothing to be afraid of. Your mental illness isn't something that you have to be ashamed of, because we are all human and all of our brains work differently. And we can't help what's going on inside of our heads. It's not your fault if you have a mental disorder. It's not. And that was something that I struggled with for a very long time. I felt that, you know, if I only was more social in high school, or if I was more ambitious and if I motivated myself more, then I wouldn't end up with anxiety. But that's not how it works. It can be your personality, it can be your brain chemistry, it can be your environment that determines whether you have a mental disorder or not. And 90% of those things, 99%, 100% of those things are out of your control. I'm sorry that this vlog wasn't one of my normal, cheery, upbeat ones, but I felt that this was important to talk about. And I have a lot of pride in where I was to where I am now, and I want everyone else to feel that same way too. Like I said, it takes a lot of time and patience and effort, but it will happen. I just want everyone to be happy. That's all I want. I want everyone to get the help that they need. I don't want anyone to go through what I went through. I don't want anyone to go through anything worse than what I went through. I just want the best for everyone. So please, if you need help, seek help. It's out there, it's available. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I didn't drag any of you down too much. I really appreciate that you're all here to listen to my senseless talking. But like I said, this was something that was really important to me and something that I want to share, and I hope that you get something out of it too. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you lovely people in my next video. Bye!